day, everyone. Good afternoon. It's just afternoon. Welcome to the kickoff of the glorious week-long event, Vino 2016, which is a celebration, really, of Italian wine and food in America. And also, at the same time, it will be a megaton of information about Italian wine and food in America. My name is Davide Rosa. No, it's not. It's David Rosengarten, but I've always been confused. I'm a good person to introduce this week of Italy in America because even though I'm a Russian Jew from Brooklyn, I'm so Italian-American. I am so Italian-American. I didn't realize until I was 9 years old that I wasn't Italian. It came as a crushing blow to me. You would not believe the Jewish-Italian accents at my house, the lobster fra diavolo, the weekend dinners at Angelo's on Flatbush Avenue, the Puccini, even the Mario Lanza. Does anyone here remember Mario Lanza? Yes. So it's cool that my story is not unusual. I was writing a piece this week for my newsletter, the Rosengarten Report, about ethnic food in America. And I was trying to list the most important ethnic foods in America, and then the newcomers, and then the ones that are like knocking on the door. And you know, when you think about it, there's no question that the grand winner of all time in America is Italy. There's just no doubt about it. American food is Italian food. And I tried to explore the reasons why that became so. And we're talking about everything from restaurants to homes to supermarkets. I mean, congratulations to all you guys. You did a wonderful job here. Even culturally, I just have to tell you this. I was listening to an African-American stand-up comic the other night, and his biggest laugh, his best joke, he was talking about Easy Pass, and he said, you know, everyone should have Easy Pass. He said, you know, if Sonny Corleone had Easy Pass, he'd be alive today, which I thought was pretty funny. Kevin laughs, thank you. I adore my friends, the Italians, and they are number one, of course, but no other ethnic group works as hard, I think, as the Italians do, to make sure that every kid in America, Brooklyn Jew or not, grows up with a soft spot for Italian cuisine. You know, it's comfort food for a lot of Americans. Vino 2016, what we're all doing here now and in the coming week, is just part of a recently launched $50 million program to take this dominance in the U.S. market even further. Through TV, internet, education, billboards even. This is the largest effort ever to present Italian food to Americans. And I want you to think about that in the context of the Italians being number one already. They're focused in this effort on New York, California, Illinois, and Texas, but the effects will be felt everywhere. Among their goals, they want to they want to have more things in America that Americans taste in Italy that are available in America, food and wine both. And in 100 years, they want to make sure that Italian food and wine will be available everywhere, all the time in America. So I have with me a very distinguished panel, and they're going to give you their views on Vino 2016 and wine and food in America. Then we'll take questions. Let me just tell you who I've got here. To my left over here is my old bud, Kevin Zraly, the very famous wine educator. Kevin, of course, started Windows on the World back in 1976. This, of course, is Maurizio Forte, who is the Italian Trade Commissioner of the U.S. He's the #1 guy in this chain that we're describing today. And we also have here Stevie Kim, who is Korean American. She lives in Italy. She lives in Verona. She's a kind of ambassadress for Italian wine and food all over the world. And she is also the managing director. Some of you in the press here probably know her because she's managing director of Vin Italy, which is coming up pretty soon in Verona, as always. So we're going to start with Maurizio. I will hand the floor over to him, the Italian Trade Commissioner of the U.S., and Maurizio will tell us a few things about what's happening this week. Maurizio. Grazie.
Thank you, David, and good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody, the American press, Italian producers that are here. Before talking of Vino, let's talk about the umbrella that is above Vino, that is the Italian Wine Week. Italian Wine Week has been also recognized by Mayor de Blasio as the biggest wine event in New York. We are very proud to be part of it. And it will consist of a number of events. So we start today with the press conference, and immediately after us there is the grand tasting of slow wine with more than 80 Italian companies. Then next week we will have on the 8 and 9 Vino 2016, the bigger event in the Hilton Midtown Hotel organized by Italian Trade Commission with the support of the Ministry of Economic Development and together with Vinitaly International, where we'll have more than 200 Italian companies, 11 seminars, 45 speakers, 50 companies for the first time in the market looking for importers in this area called Meet and Greet. And after that, on the 9th afternoon, we will have another grand tasting organized by Gambero Rosso. So this is really a peaceful invasion of Italian wine producers and of Italian wine events in New York. What I can say, later maybe I'll talk more about the program, about the figures, but one point that David has already touched. Italy is not a military superpower. This is doubtless. That's good. Anyway, this is what it is. But we are not a military superpower. We are not a financial superpower. We are not an oil producer superpower, but we definitely are a cultural and food and wine superpower. We are very proud of this position. And again, in a very friendly and in a very warm atmosphere, we want to underline this position once again in New York and in all the United States, because we have invited 200 importers and distributors throughout all the country to be here with you and to support the Italian wine. That is the first one in the US market in terms of import. But you know, when you are the leader, you have to struggle and to fight and to be committed to maintain the position and possibly to increase and strengthen it. This is what we are doing together with Italian producers.
Thank you, Maurizio. And now we're going to hear from Stevie, who I understand has brought some audio-visual material as well.
Yeah, I'm going to stand up. Is that okay? Because I want to see the slides. So originally, I thought I was supposed to do a presentation. Anyways, they turned my presentation into a video, so it will last exactly 7 minutes. So I'll be done by 7 minutes. Are you okay with that? So I don't know if you... Okay, so this is kind of the calendar. By the way, I've uploaded all of this in SlideShare. So if you go to Stevie Kim 222, you can have all of these just in case. This is the calendar. I think you know some of you, Suzanne, nice to see you. Some of you know me for Vin Italy, and I know you think Vin Italy. This is also for the producers in the room, anche per voi produttori. Vin Italy is not just something that happens once a year. It happens kind of all year round. And there are a lot of different products. One thing here is called 5-Star Wines. We're launching it this year. For the first time, actually, there will be free wine, without Wine Without Walls, which Alice Faring is leading, and it's a natural wine competition, so I'm pretty excited about that. There's another product that's in its second year. It's called Vinitaly International Academy, where I have personally recruited and scouted many potential Italian wine ambassadors. And Geraldine, can you just raise your hand? And she is one of our 3 Italian wine experts, so I'm very happy about that. We do opera wine. This is an event that I've started from the get-go with Spectator. It's quite fun because I get to trap 100 Italian wine producers, Antinori and Gaia together for 2.5 hours. I put them in the same room, throw the keys out, and they have to stay there and serve the wines. So this is what you're used to seeing, which is in the fairgrounds in Verona once a year. It's now gone from Sunday to Wednesday. Last year, there were about 150,000 participants. I hope that will go down a little bit because I want to move them out of the city. Now, at Vinitaly, we do a grand tasting. However, we have this new product called Wine to Wine, and that happens in December. And some of you have already come to this, and this is where we talk about Italian wine business. So you can go to see that. I just wanted to make a note of Vino, which is also, of course, your name, but we ran an Italian wine pavilion for the first time 6 months at the World Exposition, and we did have the grand tasting about 3,000 wines for 6 months. That was pretty exciting. Some of you may know that I have a little soft spot for also digital, where we do a yearly event called Hack Wine, where we gather 200 hackers, 200 to 300, put them together and challenge them with some kind of new vehicle, new instrument in terms of mostly app-based form. We've also launched the Vinitaly Wine Club. It is an e-commerce platform. Right now, it's only available in Italy and also in England, but this is the platform that we're planning to launch also in China. In fact, it has won actually the Best App Award for 2015 through the Vinitaly Wine Club. And this, I brought this up to your attention because Vinitaly, actually, there are many different channels and services that we do all year round. And we're certainly happy to be here under the umbrella of Vino. This is actually, I just want to take, when this goes on, this is a video, people ask me what I do more or less. So this kind of gives you an idea why I'm always, you guys seen that movie with George Clooney, right, Up in the Air? That's pretty much what I do, and this is the reason, because there is a very busy schedule. I just want to say something to Maurizio. I know Maurizio was the Italian Trade Commissioner for Shanghai, so I've met him since. And what he's done today, actually, it's pretty formidable, because to gather Slow Wine, Vinitaly, and Gambero Rosso together under the umbrella, because we're all Italians, and I love you all Italian producers. You're incredibly imaginative and creative, but unfortunately, they're all individualistic. And to put them together under one umbrella, it has been a great, I think, success in just that in alone. So Vino, I'm very happy to be part of it, and in a very small way with the Vinitaly International Academy, but I'm looking forward to a great week ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stevie. I'll start bothering you soon about Verona. Can I go? Now we're going to hear from, I'll give him his rapper name, KZ.
Thank you. A little round of applause for from the producers to our press, to the press that is here right now, because these are the people that are going to write about you. Can we hear a little bit more round of applause for the press? Thank you for coming out. I don't know exactly why I'm here, but I've been teaching wines for 40 years, actually the Windows in the World Wine School, and I actually do have to give you a little quick story, because the Italian Trade Commission was located at One World Trade Center when it first opened up, and the director used to come upstairs all the time and say, you know, you don't have enough Italian wines. You don't have enough Italian wines. He was there 3 days a week. And I said, well, here's the bottom line. This is 1976. I said 50% of the wines. 50% of the wines back in 1976 were Lambrusco. Does that you all? I'm looking at the age group in here right now. I'm not rewriting history. And of course, maybe you could also remember the other wines that were coming out during the holiday season. The 3-pack from the Veneto region. Anybody remember what I'm talking about? Valpolicella, Soave, and Bardolino. You remember that pack came out? So that was another 25%. That brought up to 75%. The other 15% was Chianti, mostly in the Fiaschi. All right. That said, we've come a long way. So basically, I was going to do the 40-year history. David said we're running out of time, but look what's happened today. And I was actually reading today's New York Times, and I bring that up because it was about Etna, the Rosso. This is exactly what's happening. Look at all the wineries that we're going to have today, as well as all the wineries that are going to be at the event, starting on Sunday and Monday. And it's, to me, right now, Italy has done everything they could possibly do. Some of the greatest wines in the world are definitely coming out of Italy, and I'm sure you all know that. 20 regions, and we should also give a round of applause that the 20 regions are making some spectacular wine, but 2015, the vintage, not only being a spectacular vintage, but 2015, Italy is now the #1 producer of wines in the world. That's just something that I like to keep up. And of course, ending off with that thing about the Soave and the Bardolino, I just went out to dinner with two master wines. And what did they order? They ordered a Soave. So what's old is new again. And they ordered a Valpolicella. These are master of wines. So the whole thing has come around. And of course, the Italian wines right now, which you're going to try here tonight and throughout the whole thing, are going to be fantastic. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. David?
Thank you, KZ. So much part of my childhood, the Soave on the table, especially the Soave. That's what they drank. Maurizio, did you have some other remarks to make, or should I introduce Giancarlo? No, we're good. Right. Okay. So let me just give you a little bit of the schedule here. We're doing okay. It's only 12:30. Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to take some questions from the audience, because this is a press conference. And then after that, we're going to talk a little bit about the wine tasting that's coming right up in this room. But why don't we start? Don't mean to take you by surprise, but have you got any questions for any of us? And I'll point and you can ask. Do they need microphones? You got it. Come up to the microphone and ask your question, please. Oh, we bring the microphone to you. Yes, you're first.
Okay.
Who wants to ask a question? That gentleman back there.
So what are some top goals you hope to accomplish this week and coming week? What do you want us to learn?
Maurizio, I think.
Yeah. As I mentioned before, Italy in wine, but also in the other category of food, is definitely the first partner of the United States for vino, pasta, olive oil, cheese, mineral water, and in good position for preserved meat and tomato canned and products like this. We have almost 1/3 of the market share for vino. Great result for sparkling wine, where we are the first supplier in quantity with 50% of the market, and also for vermouth, where we have 75% of market share. So apparently there is almost nothing to do, but it's not like this, because from one side, again, when you are on top, you can only fall down. So it's a very important position, but we have to preserve it and maintain. And on the other side, there are so many, there is still a great amount of job we have to do. And this is why we have launched in 2015, as David has mentioned before, the biggest promotion plan for food and wine we have ever realized, Italy has ever realized in the US market. Why? Because according to a survey we have done, almost 50% of the American consumers are not aware that a lot of so-called Italian products actually are not from Italy. And so we want to underline the authenticity. No war against anybody. We don't want to change the rules and regulation in the US market. We just want to underline and stress what is real Italian and what can be proposed to consumers as authentic Italian food and wine. And also because according to this survey, consumers are even ready to pay an additional price in order to have authentic Italian food that are close to territories, to the origin, to the original recipes. So we decided to do two things. First, a big advertising campaign that is almost all over the country, but namely in the 4 states that David has mentioned before. And later on, we will see the video with the art director Silvio Muccino, that is a quite touching video from my point of view, talking about the strong relation between Italy, the territory, and our products. And second thing, we have signed agreements with the biggest retailer in the US market because we want the products to be on the shelves. If you have no authentic Italian products, it's normal you buy something else. So this is the goal we wanna reach with this big campaign. And of course, Vino is part of it because again, we want first to put all the different players together, Vinitaly, Italian Trade Commission, Gambero Rosso, Slow Wine, but we want also to bring new producers. That's why we have almost 1/4 of our participants that are new in the market, and we are trying to support them with this meet and greet where you can have a temporary importer that can help you to bring your wine here to be tasted by distributors, by restaurants, by wine lovers, and hopefully later on to find a stable importer. So these are our goals. And I think they are quite ambitious, and we have to work hard for that together with Italian producers.
As a consumer and also a writer of wine, I do not know of any other country that does what you guys do and bringing it to the United States. And that's why, again, you are the leaders. I'm not trying to patronize you, just it's obvious, and we all know this, that the Italian, the #1 importer of wines in the U.S. is Italy, and it's continuing to grow. So rather than sitting on your laurels, as they say, you're actually here, and we're here, and it's going to be a long, long week. And actually, the other thing, too, getting back to the restaurant one, I was at the restaurant. Yeah, that's true. I didn't have a lot of Italian wines. Today, I would have hundreds of different Italian wines. And it'd be hard to choose where I was going. And I think the other thing that we're doing, one of the panels that I know that I'm involved in is wine and food. And Italian wines are not just for Italian food. Italian wines can easily go with so many other different culinary stuff. Like you could even speak about that, right? What would you have with Soave?
Could.
You are the food guy, wine and food guy.
I'm always looking for, it kind of raises the question about Italian-American food, because when I said that I grew up in a very Italian culture, it was really Italian-American, you'd have to say. But one of my very favorite dishes to eat and to make is linguine with white clam sauce, which is really more American than it is Italian, though they definitely have clam sauce. It's usually a little bit of tomato in it, but here we're a fanatic about, the bianco, the whiteness of this dish. And I'm always looking for crisp, dry Italian wine to drink with this. And so you asked me what I would pair with Soave. That would work. That would be good. Yes.
I just want to say that, Vinitaly it starts in April. It's the first week of April. But I'm also here with an educational program which tries to emphasize a bit of rigor because Italian wine is very complicated, like Grignolino. I don't think many people know what it is, so that's what we're trying to...
There's a Grignolino panel this week, I believe, right?
Yeah, there is, exactly. That's what we're trying to do. But also what we're trying to do is create more Italian wine ambassadors, so, but in a rigorous, with a program. So anyone who's interested, please get in touch with us. You can go to vinitalyinternational.com. There are information about that. But also with ICE, we are working on incoming program for buyers. So if you have never been to Vinitaly before, we are working together, and I think there's some spaces still for recruiting from the US. So if you're interested, please get in touch with Maurizio. That's why we're here, so to also promote Vinitaly for incoming purposes.
So you see the kinds of questions that Stevie's prepared to answer. Maurizio, anything about Italian trade and import. Kevin's got a kind of, he's got the hots today for the history of Italian wine in America, 40 years. Do you have any other questions? Yes, please, we're right here.
Mr. Forte, could you be a little more specific about your Made in Italy advertising campaign? Where and the medium, your message, how you're
Yes.
going to do
The claim of the campaign is Buy Authentic Italian, Get More. And the campaign is ongoing now using the digital media. That is almost 60% of the investment. That in total is almost 11 million US dollar. Plus we have some national TV network like Food Network and others, printed media and out-of-home advertisement like buses. We have a beautiful video in Times Square. We also have another very big billboard on the 47th and 49th and 7th Avenue, just to mention something here in Manhattan. And we are strongly present in San Francisco, Los Angeles, Chicago, Illinois, and also Texas. Texas is a new frontier for us, of course, not for the US state. It's a new frontier where we want to work more because we realize that in the two coasts, the awareness about Italian products, Italian cuisine, Italian wine is satisfactory. Never enough, but it's satisfactory. In the south and in the mid of the country, there is more job to do, and this is a good news because it means that we have more room to spread the culture of Italian food and wine and to increase the performances of our producers.
Though, of course, there's always been good Italian restaurants in Texas, in Dallas and in Houston. And yeah, let's have more, yes. Speaking of more, any more questions? Oh, yes, let's take this as the last question. Then I have to introduce the editor of Slow Food, please. Slow Wine, I mean, please.
This is for the Trade Commissioner. Are you doing anything special to reach like new wine drinkers, people in their 20s?
If understood well, say it again, please.
Oh. Are you doing anything special to reach, to market wine to people, to new wine drinkers, people in their 20s?
Yeah. We have one of the seminars that is called, in Italian, is Vino e Giovani, wine and young people. And especially dedicated, ideally, to the people that this year will have 21st birthday, so they can start drinking wine. And we want to talk to them to say few things. First of all, that drinking is not in order to get drunk. Drinking is something that can be healthy if you do in the proper way. And drinking can be also an occasion to have a wider culture about the world, about the agriculture in several countries, about the job that farmers and producers are doing. So it's not just a liquid thing that you put, you drink in order to be relaxed, to enjoy, or sometimes to be drunk. In Italy, we have a quite high consumption of wine, but we always drink slowly, together with food, together with friends. So it's a different approach. We don't want to teach anything to anybody, but we want to share our experience and our way of enjoy wine, food, and life together.
This is a great subject for discussion. I want to attend this panel next week about millennials and wine. I have a friend who's a writer, an educator in San Francisco, and she once said to me, the whole rise of the cocktail movement proves that we failed to convince millennials to drink wine. But that was some years ago. I think it's coming back. I have a daughter who's 23. She works at a very fine restaurant in Tribeca, New York. They have a great mixology program. But she just told me, you can imagine my pride, about 2 months ago. She said, Dad, I am so into wine now. She's 23. Can you take me to any wine tastings here? I mean, suddenly, click, she said it's been in front of her whole life. She's 23, and I'm hopeful that she may lead the way. All righty, we're going to end the question portion of the program, and we're going to take, as you know, there'll be a tasting here under the aegis of the publication Slow Wine. Somewhere out there, where are you, Giancarlo? Giancarlo Garridio is going to come up on stage and tell us a little bit about Slow Wine. Okay.
and also Fabio Giavedoni, the co-editor of the guide with me. Hello, everybody, and thank you to be here. We are very happy to kick off the Vino 2016 with the partnership of ICE and Vinitaly. Slow Food has been involved in the wine world with Vini d'Italia for the last 25 years. Our first guide only came out 6 years ago, and the name is Slow Wine. The concept and the philosophy of slow food always existed. We believe that a wine needs to be good in the first place, but this is not enough. The wine has to come from a very good agriculture and wonderful terroir. Some people told us that making such a different guide like us, like our, was going to be impossible. But in 6 years, Slow Wine has become the most sold wine guide in Italy. This means that the way we are chosen is the right one. Now we believe that the American market is the next important step, and this is why we have organized for 5th times this wine tour, which promotes in the first place the Slow Wine Guide, but we have also an important wine app for iOS. Thanks to everybody.
Okay, the Italian Wine Week offers 3 different occasions and locations to taste all faces of great Italian wines. Therefore, we are pleased to invite you to participate in all of these events, to enjoy in full the pleasure that Italian wine can present. And I'm sure that all of you will find a wine that touch your heart. Thank you.
Grazie mille.
I think we can see the video, no?
Yep. Okay. So they're going to take a few minutes just to finish setting up this room, probably move these chairs out that you're sitting in. Thank you so much for attending our opening press conference. Please start tasting with us at 1 o'clock. Thank you.
This is the video of our campaign signed by Silvio Muccino.
Very nice.